In today's video, we're going to cover the unit mix, rent, and interior renovation strategy specific to the MFA Advanced underwriting model. So we'll jump right into it by getting right into the underwriting model. You can see I already have my unit mix section expanded. There are three main sections to the unit mix. There is the unit mix detail, and this is the bedroom, bathroom, square footage. There are the in-place rents. This is optional. The underwriting model does not use the in-place rent, but I find it very valuable because it allows you to compare your market rent versus your in-place, which gives you the most accurate loss to lease number. You have your market rents. These are the rents that you expect each unit type to be able to rent for in today's market. We have our renovation plan, and then we have the rents that are a result of our renovation plan. So there are a couple ways to getting data into the model. The first is really just manually entering your information. So we could do one bedroom, one bath, 650 square feet, have 60 units. You can find this information often in the offering memorandum or the rent roll. And then you can put in your in-place rents, your market rent, let's say it's 750. So you have a $100 loss to lease per unit, and then you put in your renovation plan. The other way to get the data into this is through mapping your rent roll. So I have another video on this. Go ahead and watch that. It is the most challenging thing for setting up the underwriting model, but I find it's very valuable. So you can see on the bottom left that my rent roll mapping underwriting aid is turned green. So this means I have mapped my rent roll into the underwriting model. So I'm going to go ahead and use that by clicking the populate unit mix button right here. And what this will do, it'll populate my entire table with all the information directly from the rent roll. And so it's telling me that if I continue, I will lose all the information that I've already input into this table. I click yes. And all this information is directly from the rent roll. These are the in-place rents, less vacancy from the rent roll. And these are the current market rents from the rent roll. So this is what the property manager has set as market rent in the rent roll. It's up to you to verify that. That is one of the benefits of mapping your rent roll is that you can pretty easily verify it. The rent roll says the in-place rent or the market rent is 1047. I've got 8 leases that were signed in the last 30 days at 967. So maybe this market rent is a little bit high. So you can go through, look at your rent roll indicators to try and dial in your market rents based on lease trade outs. There is also this underwriting aid for rent comps. So it's another tab. Watch the video on that. Tab allows you to compare your underwriting and your rents against the competition. You have to input the competition and it builds you some nice graphs to compare those rents. Okay, so the next step after you've dialed in all of your rents is to go ahead and put in your renovation strategy. This is pretty straightforward. You just say the number of units to renovate. So in this one, I know this top line is a classic unit. I have 66 units. I plan to renovate all 66 of those. I'm going to put an estimated cost of $8,500. What I usually do is I'll put some kind of estimate for the cost, and then if everything's looking good, I'll go ahead and complete the other underwriting aid, which is the repair detail, where I could get much more granular in my repair costs and really dial in my renovation amount. Okay, and then I'm gonna say based on my rent comp analysis, based on the lease trade outs, I think it's gonna be $150. This is all hypothetical right now. I have a 2.2 that's got 70 classic units. I'm gonna say it's gonna cost us $10,250, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and put a $225 premium. You can see my ROI for all of my renovations is 24%. Let me stop here and explain the logic in the tool. So what's happening right now is the tool is using the units that you're going to renovate, and it's spreading those out over your renovation timeline, which is contained in the deal assumptions section. So in this case, I have a 24-month renovation timeline. So spreading all those units out over 24 months, it's going to roll every unit for every week from our current market rent into a renovation vacancy bucket, and that lasts for 2 months. So the model automatically assumes that it's going to take you 2 months to renovate a unit and to lease it back up. And then it will roll it back onto the rent roll at the post renovation rent. That's in the GPR Logic tab. There's a video on that if you're interested in learning more. So now that my rent and renovation strategy is done, let me explain some of the totals in the green line below, right down here. Let's see, we have our annual gross potential rent right here for our in-place rents. We have it for our market rents. And then what that does, it allows us to calculate our annual loss to lease. So I'll oftentimes compare that against what I see in the T12 and then help dial in my numbers down below. And now we'll get into the rent premium. So you can see for the renovation that we're doing, we have a premium of $189, and that's a 17% increase over in-place rents. And then for the entire property, we have a premium of $169, and that's a 15% increase over our market rents. And the reason it's lower is because we're not renovating 100% of the units. So this is more of a weighted average here. So we have 16 units we're not renovating. And then we have our gross potential rent for our renovation, after our renovation. That is it for the unit mix, rent, and interior renovation strategy. Thank you for watching.